Hello and welcome back everyone. So in this episode we're going to start working on this piece right here. So what I'm going to do is hit Shift A and create a circle, and I'm just going to give it 8 sides. And numlock is on 8. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to hit R, X, and 90 to rotate it like that. And I want this side right here to be perfectly vertical. So I'm going to try RY 45, and that gave us basically the same rotation. So I think we want half of 45, so I guess that would be RY 22.5. There we go. Alright, so now we want to reposition this. And I think it might be easier. Well, actually, yeah, we can just reposition it. So I'm going to move the cursor to right here with Shift S and cursor to active. And then I'm going to right click on this guy at Shift S and selection to cursor offset. And then go back into side view by hitting 3 and just scale this down and reposition it like so. And that to me looks like roughly the right shape for this. But I think we're going to have to actually reshape it a little bit. I'm going into vertex selection mode. I'm just going to drag it over here like so, and then extrude it across. Now I think we need to widen it slightly, and I'm also going to hit Control R and create an edge loop on the top and on the bottom, because I want this to be mirrored. So I'm going to destroy one side of it. So 1 for front view, Control Tab for vertex selection, and then grab everything on one side and delete it. And then A, and why don't we add a mirror modifier? I'm going to enable clipping, and then I'm just going to stretch this out. And the mirror modifier, why is it doing that? It's not clipping correctly. Why don't we make sure the median point is our pivot element? Okay, so now I need to hit Control A and apply rotation and scale. Okay, now it makes more sense. So I'm going to extrude that to there. I'm going to grab this face and extrude it out slightly. And I'm going to do the same thing with the top. Just extrude that up ever so slightly. Go into vertex selection mode, and then I'm going to alt right click that ring and extrude it back. 3Z. And you know what, actually, why don't we extrude the whole thing back? Well, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's happening here. Maybe something like that. Alright, and then I'm going to take everything except these top two pieces and extrude that back. And let me grab one more reference image. Alright, so the part we're working on now is this piece here. So this needs to be extruded further, right here. And we need to kind of bring this in and round it out. And I'm actually going to go into front view and extrude this vertex all the way to the middle, and then Control right click here and create a face. and do the same thing with this vertex here. So 1 for front view, Z for wireframe, drag it across, and then if I control right click and create a face there, that closes out this shape. Like so. And now it should be a little bit easier to connect these. I'm going to go back into vertex selection mode, and it looks to me like we just want it to come across right here. So just take these two and extrude them back to there, and then take just this one and extrude it back. Then Control R to create an edge loop here. And I'm going to delete this whole edge. Bring both of these in. And actually delete the top vertex as well. Create a face there, Control, right click. And I'm going to delete this vertex as well. Create a face there. And I'm going to bring both of these in. And actually, I think this whole wing needs to come in. Then I'm going to Control right click across this and extrude it down. Control L, Control N. Go into face selection mode. These faces need to come up more, and this one needs to come out more. And I'm just going to grab this edge and pull it out like that. Maybe not quite so far. Alright, so the next piece is these clippy things here. And so for that, I'm actually going to work on a separate piece of geometry. So I'm going to hit Shift D on this giant face, and then 3, and I'm also going to hit P to separate selection. Grab that new object, tab into edit mode, and pull this edge forward. And then I'm just going to move down it and create wing loops everywhere. So Control R, if it'll let me. And for some reason it's not showing us where the wing loop ended up, which is kind of annoying. Okay, it'll show us if we're in vertex selection mode. So just Control R, click on this, move it over, and we're going to create one for every sort of edge here. So one on the left side of this, one on the right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, the whole way across. And I just scrolled up to create a bunch of edge loops. And I'm going to reposition these all manually. Sure would help if we could see them in side view. Alright, now is this symmetrical? Because if it is, and I can't tell, I'm just going to assume it is. So we're just going to go halfway and then mirror it across. So I'm just going to take care of half of these pegs. Alright, so now I'm going to take this object and hit the slash on the numpad to isolate it. And then we're going to hit Control R to create an edge loop this way. And I think we can grab all these faces and then do a check or a deselect. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but go into select and check or deselect. Alright, so we've got some duplicate geometry right here, which is kind of annoying. So we can dissolve these edges and try that again. Check or deselect. And it looks like it got the opposite faces from what we wanted, so select in the opposite direction and then try the check or deselect. There we go. And looks like I missed a vertex over here. And then we can just hit Control R and create another one there. Alright, so one more time. Select this face, Control, select, and check or deselect. Alright, and then we can extrude those. Bring these down, Control R, SZ0, and then I'm going to hit Control R again, move it over slightly, take all these faces and bring them up. Alright, now I want to be able to extrude the clippy part. I'll show you a reference image. So this part comes out from about halfway up, but if we try to create a ring loop here, we would have to do it one at a time. So what we could do is the knife tool. So I'm going to go into side view. I'm going to hit A to deselect everything, and then I'm going to just hit the K key. Now you'll notice down here we've got cut through is off. So I'm going to click and then hit Z, and now cut through is on. And then click one more time and enter. So now we created some extra geometry. And we can just grab these faces and extrude them. Like so. SZ, scale down, move it up. Alright, now I think this edge needs to come in, so I'm going to Alt right click here, Shift right click. Now I've got the whole ring, and just bring it over. Now I'm just going to grab these and flatten them out with SZ0. Alright, I think that looks much better. So, it does look like we have a little bit of a weird situation over here. I think that when we scaled it, I scaled it toward this direction somehow. I'm not sure what I did there. Probably just a scale toward a weird pivot point. So I'm just going to shift click all these. I don't want to have to redo it, so I'm just going to try to reposition them from top view. So 7. Now we can see what they're supposed to look like. Move it down. And that's better. Alright, so now I'm going back into edit mode. I'm going to grab everything and move it over, because we want it to pivot around this orange dot. That's the center of the object. And actually, you know what? Why don't we move the orange dot instead of moving the geometry? So I'm going to put the cursor right here. And then I'm going to do right click on the object, Control Alt Shift C, origin to 3D cursor. And now we can add the mirror in the... And that actually messed up the mirror, sadly. So disable clipping, reposition these, turn clipping back on. Now I'm going to tab into object mode and then hit the slash key to unhide everything, so we can reposition this and see what it's supposed to look like. Grab everything, and now with clipping enabled, it'll snap together. And our 3D cursor is in roughly the right spot. So now if I mirror across the y-axis, you'll see it jumps across like that. So I'm going to move it over to the center, and then move everything out. Like so. Move everything down. And then apply the mirror modifier. Jump into top view with 7. Go into vertex selection mode, and I'm just going to grab all these vertices right here. And Shift D to duplicate them. And I don't think we need these bottom faces, so I'm just going to Control right click across like that, Shift, Control right click, and delete faces. Much better. Alright, so that gave us the whole top part there. I'm going to close this out and round off this edge. So Control right click, or Control tab, edge, right click, Control B, and bevel. Alright, I think that seems like a decent place to stop this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time.